Welcome back to more Legacy of Kain Defiance.
Nestled deep in the Black Forest, Vorador had once held court over a private kingdom, as decadent as it was depraved. Now all was still. I hoped I had not arrived too late.
Well, Raziel, if you did, we probably wouldn't have much of a game, would we? So there's some nice rainy atmosphere going on at the start of this area. Hey, I guess we just knock on the door, right? Right? Great, so we get an awesome piece of music in a statue fight. So you know this is going to be heavily edited. So multiple statues with Raziel. I like to do one of those hits where it shoots them up in the air and then glide away. I also like to jump around a lot. Try to get the statues together, run past them, get them to swing at each other, and then jump away real quick so they can hit each other. Unfortunately, during this fight, they split up a lot, so I wasn't able to do that. They were on a break. One of the statues was cheating on the other one. You can never trust a statue. They're always out for themselves. If it sees a hot piece of ass, it's chasing it. They don't care about loyalty. Yeah, this soundtrack is painfully repetitive. So it was really nice to get that music for a little while. But then we're going back to the same ambience we're going to hear for most of the rest of the game. And there's a soul base in there, which is nice. The front door was a bust, so we got to find another way into the mansion. This is one of the few structures we see in this game, not counting the vampire temples. Yeah, I was safe stating before all of these jumps, not that you game over or anything, just that they're awkward as hell and I don't feel like jumping back up on each of these platforms. Awesome. Yeah, you kinesis that so you can get through here. There's a secret in there that we can get later. The secrets in this area are kind of weird. You have to reach game objectives to unlock them. It's bizarre because there's no reason you shouldn't be able to get them now. And as soon as Raziel adjusts himself a little bit. Yep. Another forced fight. I can only think of one forced fight in the game for Kain, but Raziel, the weaker of the two fighters, gets them all the time. And right now, I'm trying to knock these guys into spikes and fire, these things on the wall, just to save time, because I really don't want to be sitting there fighting these guys as much. Like you can see there. For some reason, I don't think you can get their souls when you do that, which makes no sense. I don't think I realized it yet that if you use the Fire Reaver, you can't get their souls. And I don't understand that. Fire doesn't burn their soul, although it is a Soul Reaver. Yeah, there's a secret to the left on this side of the room. I'm pretty sure I get it later. I know there's one health power up I don't go back for. Out of the way. I don't care about you. And it ends up not mattering, so it's fine. Unlock that. I'm trying to use these fires so I can get out the door, not fight enemies. He will do that sometimes when you're trying to activate something. He'll fight enemies instead.
This pool seemed related to the portals which had transported me into the vampire ruins, but its surface was disturbed by the spouting of these gargoyles.
How does he know those things are related? Oh boy, tentacles. I do end up coming back to clear these things off screen just so I don't have to deal with them, because we will be coming through here quite a bit. But I'll spare you that. We need the Fire Reaver first. There's these first two doors. It doesn't matter which one you do first.
These gargoyles were effigies of the vampire's enemies. In the corresponding murals, they were impaled by heroic vampire warriors. Perhaps this was a clue.
Because everything written down must be true, right, Raziel? Right? You know, it's a good thing he didn't exist during the time of the internet, because he would believe everything online. So we're going to start with the Fire Reaver door. The other one is for the Wind Reaver. We will do that next video. There's 3 spears we got to get. For this fountain, we're going to do 1 each video.
This mural was similar to one I had seen before in the fountain room.
Okay. You don't want to elaborate on that any? Fine. Whatever. It's your game, Raziel. I'm just playing it. Oh, wait. No, it's Kain's game. Actually, I don't know. I think Raziel gets more of the playtime. Whee! And when I was playing this game originally, I appreciated that, because my first 2 Legacy of Kain experiences were Soul Reaver 1 and Soul Reaver 2. So I was naturally gravitating more towards Raziel and wanting to see what he was up to. But this game definitely makes Kain likable. He was pretty much instantly likable in this game. Yeah, I'm not messing with those guys if I don't have to. Screw that noise. No point. We will be coming back here much later. Eee. You know, these camera angles are kind of annoying, but they give you some really cool cinematic shots. Gotta adjust the crick in the neck.
This mysterious chamber was clearly significant. Perhaps I would finally find the elusive Vorador within.
And by probably, that means definitely. And there's one of these Reaver charge things. I will use it in a bit. The only 2 charge attacks I haven't shown off, one is right there, the Light Reaver. The other one is the Wind Reaver, which I will show off later this video. There's only 1 Reaver form that we get that I did not show off the charge attack for. I'll try to see if I have a save I can load to go do that. But no promises. I'll see what I can do. And I do love setting those guys on fire. It's pretty hilarious. Yeah, these attacks start to progressively get better. The fire one was really good. The wind one is okay. That was a downgrade. But the next 2 are going to be really good. And I'm not really going to have much time to use them either. But I will get to show them off enough. Awesome. I don't know if that fight was forced, but I didn't think I'd be able to do what I need to. without taking them out.
The braziers were all lit, but still the door remained sealed. Perhaps I had ignited too many.
Yep, you did. And I don't think you can just light specific ones and leave the ones unlit that need to be unlit. I didn't try that this time, but I'm pretty sure the game doesn't let you do that because we need another element. Which is one of the really good ones. But again, you'll see that when we get there. Yeah, this area is pretty massive. It doesn't look the same as it does in Blood Omen. Nothing really does. Understandable, it was an older game. It would have been nice if there were at least a few things that were similar, so you could kind of say, hey, I recognize that area. And there are some jumps that we need to make. And these guys are going to get in the way of that. So this is not a force fight, but you definitely want to take them out. Don't leave them standing. I'm not sure why Vorador allows these pests to run around his mansion. Seems odd. You would think he would be above something like that. Damn it, Vorador, you're slipping. How dare you? There will be another fight in this area later. A few videos from now. Where I will get to show off the next Reaver element. I gotta admit, for a PS2 game, this game looks really, really good. The gameplay is so-so, which is an improvement over the previous games, but it looks really nice. I approve. And there's another asshole around here somewhere. There he is. You could have lived. If you did not make your presence known, you would have. All I want to do is platform. It's a shame you don't have to do a Spectral Realm thing to do this. It's a nice nod to Soul Reaver whenever we get those few moments. And we didn't really get them much in Soul Reaver 2 either. Yeah, Kinesis that. I will take that over using Kinesis to flip a switch. It's something at least. But I'm sure you've heard me complain about the soundtrack a bit. I mentioned earlier that exploration music is pretty much all we're going to get for the rest of the game. And then this combat music, which I am really tired of this combat music. It's the only one I can think of. No, I guess there's one with the Melchiah theme variation as well. But primarily it's just this one that I keep hearing throughout the game, and I got really sick of it while playing. Again, I don't think this is a forced fight, but I didn't want to try to navigate this area with these people running around. And it's not too long of a video, so it's fine. You on fire, bitch. And if I sound tired, it's because I've been at work all day. Hey, upgrade. Nice. Yeah, I would try to have more friends on this series. But I don't have very many friends that are familiar with the Legacy of Kain series. So it's kind of hard getting people on. Last video didn't involve any kind of story elements. I think we're going to get the Reaver wind ability here. Maybe not, because I got the Fire Reaver out right now. I know I do show it off. I just can't remember when. But the story is so important to Legacy of Kain that if I were going to have anybody on a story important video, it would need to be somebody that knows the story. And honestly, I'd probably just want to do those solo anyways. But it was nice having the games librarian on last video. It hasn't been that long since he was on God of War 3 for me. It will be a couple months for you guys. Yeah, okay, it must be later because I used the Fire Reaver there. That door we will use much later. And you might be saying to yourself, hey, Vorador had his head chopped off in Blood Omen. How can we interact with him? Well, this is during the time of Blood Omen, so events do kind of line up with some events in Blood Omen. Awesome. Right, so now you're going to see something that you should not do. I do learn later in the LP. Right now, the game is nice to you. There's that death mist. So if you fail this, you just restart at the previous checkpoint, which is a lot easier than if you fail this later and that's not there, and then you have to walk all the way back around. So that's fine. You can see where we need to go. Just jump straight there. I didn't think I could make it for some reason. So for some reason, I decided to jump over here. I don't know why I did that. It is a little clearer view of where you have to go, and these camera angles being nonsense, and I barely made that. It's probably why I did it, but you don't need to do that. You can just jump straight forward. The fewer jumps you have to make, the better. Again, not a big deal right now, because you would just restart at a previous checkpoint. But when that death mist is not there, again, you have to walk all the way back around. And trust me, that is painful. I'm pretty sure that happened to me during my original playthrough. It seems like something that would have happened. Would not surprise me. Yeah, look at how much of this game has unnecessary combat. Oh, I guess this might be another forced fight. I get it, your character constantly needs to refill health. So some fighting is necessary, but they throw so many enemies at you. And admittedly, the combat is improved. It's bordering on fun. Particularly with Kain. But there's still way too many. And I think somebody's about to light on fire. There we go. I love it. So not only are they being juggled, but they're also burning. That's what you get. Hey, I don't think I've said that in a video in a while. The other thing I need to say is take it. Okay, I think here's where I'll do it. One thing I did not realize until I was editing this video is your charge goes away when you switch Reaver types, which I find annoying. So keep that in mind if you're trying to build up a charge. I did not realize that. Which is a damn shame. I was trying to juggle somebody, but I guess I'll juggle you instead. You dick. And I'm pretty sure the main reason I went to the Wind Reaver here is because I knew I hadn't showed it off yet. So I am trying to show off that charged attack. We're getting there. Later on, I'm going to use the keep the Reaver fully charged cheat. Just to save me time and just to allow me to use more of these special abilities. I don't remember when I started doing that. Haha. Another motherfucker on fire. I don't know how he does that, but every now and again I accidentally pull that off. Which is great. Awesome. I love that move where he jumps in the air and then slow-mo sucks in souls. It's pretty badass. So I think the mandatory portion of that fight ended, but unfortunately other enemies that I didn't have to fight got attracted to this area.
This statue appeared to be the same hero I had seen depicted in the fountain room. This had to be significant.
Oh, I bet it is. Especially since it means another... I don't really want to call it a puzzle. So I like the idea of using the various elements to do different things, but did we really need light and dark to essentially just flip switches? It's kind of the same thing. It's one of the issues I had with Blood Omen 2 was you got some cool abilities and you only use them to flip switches. That's right, Raziel is a terrible house guest. He's breaking everything. Although, to be fair, this place is going to get a lot more broken later. But Raziel, he's doing his part to say, fuck you, Vorador. Oh, look, a block puzzle. Yeah, they went over the top with them in Soul River 1. They had that really cool mechanic of shifting between realms. And they didn't use it to its fullest potential. But they loved the block puzzles. Sweet. There are 6 of these, so we've got 2 more. Yeah, some different music would be awesome. But we're not going to get it. There will be some areas that are silent. I might add some music into some of them just to vary it up. Then again, some parts I feel like the silence kind of works. Whee! Would have been awesome if I could have glided all the way over here. Yeah, so this last one is the most annoying, which is why I saved it for last. You can do these in whatever order you want. I'm not sure if you have to glide for these or if you should be able to just jump straight to them. So we're going to be on a timer. Kinesis that. I made liberal use of save states here, but I didn't want to save state in the middle of this because this is on a timer and I barely make this. Awesome. And he's going to fall as I get this thing. But luckily I got it, so we're all good. How nice of Vorador to put together these puzzles for Raziel to solve, just to keep his mind sharp. Sweet. Give me!
This was indeed the vampire warrior depicted in the fountain room, for here was the hero's weapon. This could be the key to solving the riddle of the fountain.
Well, a key. There are 3 fountains, so we will need 3 of these. As I said before, we will get 1 per video. Now let's move on to get jumped by statues again, because we have not had enough of them already. I know I bitch about the statues, but it is a legitimate gripe. The best thing I can say is they wouldn't be so bad if you only had to deal with 1 or 2 at a time and the encounters were few and far between. Then I wouldn't really care. I think last video we encountered something like 7 statues. I'm not sure if that's counting the one in the light temple from the previous video. That's already a lot. I was trying to glide all the way over here. Didn't work. Would have been cool. Probably something you can do. But I didn't. Oh boy. Another forced fight. Oh boy. 3 statues. Hooray! Thankfully, we never have to fight 3 of those fire statues. Those guys suck because I really don't get much feedback when I'm doing damage. So you're welcome for the edits I'm doing. That saved so much video time. Screw you, statue. Die. I'm not sure who thought putting this many of these things in this game was a good idea. Now, if they took that long to kill, they would be no problem. Not a big deal. Just another enemy to fight. Still a little annoying, but not too bad. Mainly because if I can't feed off my enemies, it's not worth it. It would have been nice to have more buildings in this game. One of the things I like about the Blood Omen games is you get to see different towns. I think I might have talked about this in a previous video. We never get to do that in this game. Oh boy, more tentacles. Yeah, I'm trying to get to the Wind Reaver because I need it. God, this is so much easier than in Soul Reaver 2. And luckily, that's the Reaver we're going to need for the next door. I'm sure I could make jokes here about stabbing, but I'm not gonna. Because I'm tired. And I can't think of one. One reason I clear out the lower area of enemies is just so I don't have to hear that combat music in this area. Epic. Get your Wind Reaver out. And I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time with more Legacy of Kain Defiance.